While we wait, we don't have to record this per se, but I thought Ghostbusters was. I'm so glad I talked to you beforehand because I would have been so distracted by all my questions, and I was able to actually sort of sit and enjoy it a little bit more. Go, okay,
Nice.
I know what to expect, so I'm not just gonna be like, oh god. My only complaint was there were too many like, and not even original cast cameos. There were just too many like, I'm like, I know who, like either SNL alumni or Charles Dance or the guy from Silicon Valley. Like they just kept it just kept getting peopled with other actors that we know well from other things, and I'm just like, okay. Um, so that when we actually got to the actual, original cast cameos, you're like, oh, okay. By the way, I'm sitting there like it never even occurred to me. I don't even know why. The whole time I'm like, how the hell are they going to do Ernie Hudson? For some reason in my mind, I'm like, is he like a bar? I thought he'd be like a city official or the mayor or something else. So like when she's talking about her uncle, like immediately I should have been like, oh, of course, that's who it will be. So it never even occurred to me that and we're getting close to the end. I'm like, man, when's Ernie going to show up? And then I was like, oh, of course, duh. And then it was just Sigourney Weaver. So when she finally popped in at the credits, I was just like, oh, yay, that works well. And then the little tag at the end of the credits where they talk about Zool, that was kind of fun. But yeah. I'm still of my opinion that it should have just been Boston. Like why they went to this extent to be like, it's New York. Although that only makes sense at the very end when they get the firehouse finally. I'm like, oh, okay, well, if they get the firehouse at the end, I gotta give them a little bit. But almost part of me didn't even. I'm like, should they have gotten the firehouse? Like, should they have just stayed where they were?
Yeah, I like the Chinese restaurant.
I thought it was unique. My only other complaint, I mean, there was so much about it that was charming and actually kind of lovely. And Kate McKinnon, man, just owned everything. Like I had such a major crush on her in this whole movie. She was so just quirky and confident. But like,
in the club, everybody did.
I'm just like, man, there were just too many scenes of people sitting around talking that could have been interchangeable. And I'm like, I wish they were separated by more, maybe, or maybe breaking. I wish they would have broken them off more into like ones and twos and things. Which is if you watch the rhythm of the first two movies, like, the four guys together isn't as much as you'd think, right? It's always like Ray or Egon are off investigating, or Peter is off harassing Dana, or so it's like they're always kind of off on their own. And this was a lot of these four women hanging out a lot, which it was funny, but I'm just like by about like the 3/4 way through, I'm like, okay, here's yet another scene of them sitting around talking. Maybe we could have done something else here instead. I don't know what. Maybe develop the villain a bit more. I don't know. But other than that, I thought it was weaker than I had wanted, but better than I had anticipated, and sort of earned itself a second movie that I hope does better.